Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to finish unit number 1. This is the third class about this unit. We are going to discuss in this class number 1, word formation. Number 2, words that go together. Number 3, a pronunciation. Before dwelling on these 3 issues, I want you to concentrate on one very important point, that there are 2 reading passages in the textbook, one about a family from China, the other is about a family from Kenya. Now, you are going to read these 2 passages, try to understand them, and to learn their vocabulary. In the exam, it is possible that we bring something about the content and the vocabulary which is included in these 2 passages or readings. Now, let's now begin with word formation. Now, when we talk about word formation, this is considered one method by which we enrich our vocabulary, and we can add more words to your mental dictionary, by which you can form more sentences and know how these words are used. Now, I mean by word formation that we have an original part of the word, which is called a stem or root of the word. For example, now we say compete. Now, this is a word, a verb in the language, which has a meaning. Now, this word, we can add to it things, some sounds at the end of the word, which are called suffixes. They are things, sounds that go together, units of sounds that you add at the end of the word. We call them suffixes. Now, when you add these suffixes, either you change the meaning of the word, or you change the grammatical category of the word, or you change the tense of the word, or you change the gender of the word, whether the word is for man or woman. Now, things like these now are called suffixes. They are added, they are morphemes, which we add at the end of the word to change the meaning, the grammatical category, the tense, the gender, and the person, and the number. Now we see now if we add to this now, ION, now the word will become competition. Competition, which is a noun. Now, in other contexts now, you have, for example, a skill. You add to it full, it becomes skillful. Skillful, which is also an adjective. Now, we have the word able. This is an adjective. Now, we add to it ity at the end, it becomes ability. Ability. Now, so if you add now something like these, now which are called suffixes, we add them at the end of the word, we form new words. From here now comes the word formation. Words are formed. If we have one word in the dictionary, now it becomes 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Well, these words are related. These words are related. Now, when we talk about them now, today's word now, which is very important for you to understand, which will come in the exams as questions also, is the word act. Now, we have the word act. Now, act is a verb, or at the same time, it's a noun. Now we talk about act as a verb. So we say act, behave. We behave. Now, also it is a noun, which means one unit in a play. Now we have a plays. Inside the play we have unit number 1, unit number 2. We have act number 1, act number 2, act number 3, and like. Now if this word now, we add to it ION, it becomes action. It becomes action. And we have a well-known proverb which says, actions speak louder. So now actions now comes in a position of a subject now which is a noun. A second word that can be formed from the word act is activity. Act plus activity. So we say now, we usually, when we give exercises to students, we ask them to do some activities. Now, making a question, to form a group of questions now that you take as a homework, we call them activities. Now, there are so many activities students do in order to get high marks. Now, activity is also a noun. Action is a noun. Action is a noun. Activities, or activities, the plural, is also a noun. They have two different and separate meanings. They have two different meanings. Now, number 3, now we have active. Active is an adjective. Now, in order to be loved by your teachers, you must be active. Students must be active, which means they must work hard. Now, in order to be active, you should work hard. Number 4, we have actor or actress. Now, in these two examples, in actor and actress now, actor is a person who does action and acting. An actress is also a person who is now doing acting. But this suffix reflects what is called feminine, for women. And this one is masculine, which means for men. Then these are two suffixes which change the verb act into a noun. So this is also a noun. Like in these nouns must be person. Then actor and actress are nouns which are person. Active is an adjective. Activity is a noun. Or action is a noun. Now, 1/5 word which can be made from the word act is acting. Is acting. Or acting is formed as a noun similar to gerunds and present participle. Now, in this case, now we say acting is not well paid for in our country. Which means that people do not pay well for what? For acting, for the process of acting, to work as an actor or an actress. So therefore now this is called word formation. From the word act, we make the word noun action, we make the noun activity, we make the adjective active, we make the two nouns, person nouns, human beings, actor and actress, and the process of acting is called acting. Therefore now, the vocabulary of your language can be expanded, can be increased. The number of words which you have inside your mind can be increased, can be more and more by using the process of what is called word formation. Now, number 2. There are words in the language now which usually go together. Now, we mean by go together that most of the time they come together one after the other. Example. Now, we say, for example, fall in love. Now, that somebody loves someone else, or some other lady now, we call the relationship between them, they fall in love one with the other. Now, another example on words that come together also, we say well-paid job. Well-paid job. A third example also on words that come together, we say pepper and salt. Wherever you find pepper and salt, they, as two words, they also come together. Now, we say run out of petrol. Run out of petrol. These words also come one with the other. We say a close knit family. A close-knit family. These are examples now on expressions which are made of one or two or three or more or less words that they come together when you use them in the dictionary. Now, they are called words that go together. Now, it is very important for students or for any learners of English language that they know which words usually come together in forming speech context, or in writing, or in listening, or in something like this. Yes. Point number 3, which is pronunciation. Usually students in our classes might not pay very good or very well in. Now they do not pay good attention to pronunciation, thinking that a course like English language, for example, now pronunciation is not important for it. This is not true. Pronunciation is very important because all the time, what people now hears from you is what you say, which is called the pronunciation. In this class, I am going to give you some phonetic symbols, particularly this symbol, which is pronounced O, O, O. We find it in the word go. So we pronounce it like this, go. Now we find it in home, home. We find it in no. We usually, our Arabic students now pronounce this sound as O. This is not true. It is pronounced as O, O. So don't say go, say go. Don't say home, say home. Don't say no, say no. In your pronunciation, you make two movements by your tongue. You begin with O, with shwa from the middle of your mouth, and then you move to another sound which is O. So you begin with A, then you end with O, making one sound which is called O. O. This sound is different from a sound, for example, like this. This sound is oo. We say fool. Do we say fool or foul? We say fool. Foul. This is different. This sound is O, but this one is U. A third sound now is this sound. This is pronounced as ah. Ah. You find it in the word cub. X sound. Why ah? This is ib. Cub. Fun. Blood. Blood. Mud. Cut. Shut. But. Some. All of these have this sound ah. Now, a fourth sound is this sound. This sound is E. E, which you find in the word see. Me. Feel. Tea. Read. Read. Tea. This is its sound, or this is the E sound. Tea. Now, you find it also in C. C. You find it in me. And so on. Now, one more sound is the sound eh. This sound, you find it in the is pronounced eh. Eh, not e. Eh. You find it in 10. Its sound, this is eh. 10. Men. Red. Red. Head. Head. So therefore now we have O, we have U, we have ah, we have E, and we have E. One more sound also to be tackled now is this vowel. This is pronounced as A, not E. It's A. Now we say we have the word tell, tell, and we have the word tail. It sound A and L. Tail, but this one is tell. Tell. This is tell. This is tail. This sound is A. We find it in male. We find it in sail. That one. We find it in fail. Fail. This one. It's A sound. Fail. Sail. Male. Tail. Now, therefore now, you have to pay attention to these pronunciations and different sounds. Now, just to give one exercise for this, we say, for example, you are going to show the sounds which are different. We have now this is the sound, or this is the sound, and this is the sound. Now, which sound is different? This one is pronounced as ed, eh. So it's said. But look at this one. It's say, pay, ray, ray. Now, therefore, now, when you are asked now to tell the sound which is odd, which is out, now you say this one. This is pronounced as eh, like in these three sounds are pronounced as a. Said. The other is say, pay, ray. Another word. Now, this is rose, goes, geese. This is the one which is odd. This sound is E, E sound, but these two sounds are O sounds. O sounds. That's it. Now, in the exam, you are going to be asked about some pronunciations. We are going to bring you some words, and that you tell which word is different in the pronunciation. Or we give you one word like this, and we say, what is the sound which is pronounced in this word? Is it O? Is it O, this one? Or is it, for example, O? Or is it O? You see? We give 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 or 4 alternations. Now we give more alternatives, yani more choices, and you are going to tell what is the sound which is found in this word. This one, or this one, or this one. طبعا this is the, now we say this is the first now, which is O. Which is O. O. Now, this is now about the third point, which is the pronunciation. And we said that the pronunciation is very important, in this case. Now, thus now, we have covered everything in unit number 1, beginning from the grammatical points, about the passive voice, about making questions, about making negatives. Within, we went dwelling on giving you word formation, وطبعا some rules for the suffixes and other things we will take later on. We talked also about the tenses. We talked about also the passive voice and so on. And we talked about vocabulary enrichment. We talked about word formation. We talked about the pronunciation of some words and words that go together. And this is about everything which is found in unit number 1. By this, we say, let's see you now in another unit, which is unit number 2. Thank you.